So before I tell you about Tellagence, let me see a quick show of hands. How many of you came to demo hoping to connect with one or two particular people that might be able to help you with your organization? Maybe it's a journalist or another company or maybe a VC. Yeah, we come to events like Demo because we want to make personal connections with people. We want to build relationships that might be able to help us in the future. Now, how many of you would go stand over on the corner of Sand Hill Road and shout your message to anyone that passed by, hoping that they might hear it and care and probably not think you were nuts? Yeah, not so effective, right? But that's essentially what companies are doing today on social networks. They're blasting their messages out there, hoping that the right person hears it. Now, what if I could tell each company in here the 5 unique people that they should go talk to in this room, and I could predict for them how their message would spread across the majority of this room via word of mouth? That'd be pretty interesting, right? So my name is Matt Hickson, and this is Nitin Minday, my co-founder and chief scientist. And the name of our company is Tellagence. And what Tellagence does is we predict how information moves across any network, be it Twitter, an internal corporate network, or even something like a government communications network. Essentially, we predict how word of mouth travels. And today we're here to launch our first product, which is for Twitter. So let's take a look. Now, there's a ton of great information on social networks if you know how to separate the signal from the noise. And the more and more focused our interests get, the more and more we rely on trusted relationships to find information that's relevant to us. Now, that's great for you and I, but it's a huge pain for the enterprise who's trying to get you and I to actually pay attention to their message. So for the purpose of this demo, we're going to be the Acme Corporation. And the first thing that Acme needs to do is they need to locate the community that they want to reach. And they do that by identifying some of the key conversations that that community is having around this subject. And Acme is going to be locating the social business conversation today. So once we've saved that, Tellagence starts collecting data in real time from Twitter. And what we map here is we continuously map the ever-changing relationships that people are forming around this topic. So we don't care about your friends and followers. So let me repeat that to make sure everybody understands this. We do not care about your friends and followers. What we care about is the relationships that you build around this topic, because that's what social is all about. Now, we can quickly locate Acme in this community. But the first real question that Acme has here is, when they speak about social business, who actually cares? Who does it reach? And so with one simple click, we can show you something you've never been able to see before. Tellagence can predict how far Acme's message will travel and what path it will take across this community. This is their true network of advocates for this topic. Now you can see there's a portion of the community they don't reach today. And this is one of the main challenges faced by the enterprise, which is where do I focus my resources to get this community to hear about me in the most efficient and effective way? So with another click, we can show you the next 10 relationships that Acme should be focusing their attention on, which are represented by the orange dots here. You can see how much further Acme's messages could travel by focusing on this network. And so there you have it. The blue represents how far Acme's messages will travel today, and the yellow represents how much further they could travel by focusing on Tellagence's suggested network. Now, one important thing to note here is when I talk about prediction, I'm not talking about looking at reams of historical data and looking for patterns. What I'm talking about is more like predicting the weather. So just because it rained for the last 4 days doesn't mean it's going to rain tomorrow. The environment is constantly changing, and you have to understand those changes in order to effectively predict. And that's what Tellagence does for information on any network. Now let's take a closer look at the prioritized list of relationships that Tellagence has identified for Acme. Now Acme can quickly focus their attention on the people that have the highest potential for them. And by selecting a potential advocate like Brian here, we can quickly dig down and see when Brian talks about social business today, where do his messages travel? So remember, it's not always about how far or how many people you reach. Sometimes it's about reaching the right people. And the onus is on you to provide good content. This isn't a new tool for you to start spamming people in new and fantastic ways, because relationships are only as genuine as the effort that you put into them. Now, by focusing on Brian here, we can quickly see a couple things. One, we can see how much more Acme needs to build that relationship with Brian to move him to full advocacy. You can also see the relationships that Brian is talking with about social business today. You can also see what he's talking with about these people, so all the way down to the granular level of what he's talking about. So as your context changes, your relationships change. But that's the beauty of Tellagence. People are complex, interesting, dynamic individuals, but we can take care of that for you. Now, there are a lot of products out there today that measure some form of activity in these networks, but Tellagence is the first company to truly unlock the complexities of online relationships so that you can accurately predict who's motivated to pass on your message and when and where and how. And we do that for any network. And as your relationships change and the context changes, we can keep up with that for you. We're constantly predicting what your optimum network of relationships looks like so you can get your messages heard in the most effective and genuine way. We appreciate you having us. Please stop by our booth to find out more. Thank you.